LinkedIn is great at connecting you with the world's largest professional network. But it can't connect you with motivation on a Monday morning. LinkedIn can help you get insights from your professional community. But it can't give you any insight into why Dave's still talking on mute. And while it can't stop your boss from bringing tuna for lunch, LinkedIn can help bring your career to the next level. LinkedIn is the network that works for you. Visit LinkedIn.com to learn more.
We gather here tonight to bring women back to their rightful place.
The Testaments, a new Hulu original series from the executive producers of The Handmaid's Tale.
It's easier to accept a story than believe that the people around you are monsters.
The battle isn't over.
There comes a time when you have to take action, when you have to choose your own destiny.
Never quite as it seems.
Watch the new Hulu original series, The Testaments, streaming on Hulu and Hulu on Disney Plus for bundle subscribers. Terms apply.
This is the TJ Show, and I'm just going to warn you before I read this story to you. You're going to say "aw" a lot throughout it, and it's going to annoy you, I think, by the end of it. But let me just get into this. So Elaine and Roland, two people went to school together in the 1950s. Same high school, Allentown, Pennsylvania. She was a cheerleader, and he was the star athlete on the baseball team. Elaine recalls, in her words, that Roland was handsome, very popular, that she felt a chemistry with him, but they never dated. Roland said, when I saw her in the 9th grade, I thought she was very beautiful and exciting. I thought she was, well, I guess in today's words, quite hot. I love when old people talk. Yeah, she was quite hot.
Real looker.
Roland went to college, played professional baseball, had an injury. It ended his athletic career. He wound up getting married to another woman, and unfortunately, she passed away. In 2003, Elaine and Roland, following along, they met up at their 50th high school reunion in that same town, Pennsylvania. They recognized each other right away. They felt their familiar chemistry come back and exchanged email addresses. At the end of the night, he spontaneously kissed her. That's a
Roland, you dog,
bold move. I'm gonna give you a little kiss. Soon they were talking on the phone for hours, emailing every day. Over the coming months, the conversations became romantic. Look at this. She visits him in Florida. By Christmas of 2004, Elaine moves in with Roland.
Let me tell you, there's something in that Florida sun, you know what I'm saying? It'll do something to you.
So then they get into a 20-year relationship, never discussed marriage, just kind of hanging out with each other. What a sweet story, right?
Yeah.
Think about your first crush, by the way, because I have thoughts on that. And unfortunately, some very embarrassing stories to share. But Elaine turned to Roland after about 20 years and says, do you think we should get married? And he said, yeah, I think we should. So fairly recently, they exchanged vows at their gated community where they live. And Roland says he felt the same way when he saw Elaine walking down the aisle in her white wedding dress and veil. He goes, all this time later, I thought she was just as beautiful, just as exciting. And she said she thought she had her whole life figured out, was going to retire to the beach, be with her friends and her family. But when they met, it was just pure, simple chemistry. They couldn't ignore it. So do you guys think of like who that first crush was in your life? Does someone come to mind automatically?
I mean, I had so many, you know what I'm saying?
But who was like that first one that was a standout?
The one that stands out to me was Ricardo. I was in high school. And he was in choir, I was in choir, and all the girls loved him because he knew how to sing. He was from Trinidad and Tobago, so he had a nice Caribbean accent, and we became really, really close. We were always talking on the phone for hours, and his dad absolutely loved me, and he loved my friend, my best friend. So, and you know what? I look back now, and I'm like, that's okay, because Ricardo at the time was chasing a dream of becoming like a singer, and he's still chasing that dream, which is great. Chase a dream, but I need stability and good health insurance. So I'm happy with where I'm at with my husband Archie.
And it worked out great.
It did work out great.
You wouldn't want to be with anyone other than your husband
That's
Archie.
Right.
So they cut deep sometimes, and I've got one, and it's a bad one. There was a girl that I fell in love with when I was in, I think, 2nd grade.
Aww.
And fast forward, I'm 19 years old. And I'm driving her home from what I thought was a date, but it wasn't quite a date.
Oh.
And I professed my love to her, and my wife Jess and I got on the phone with her to hear it from her point of view on that infamous night.
What happened?
Okay.
This is Steph, by the way.
TJ had a holiday party in the city for work, and he invited me to go along. And we were friends, we were buddies.
Yeah, that's what every guy wants to hear.
I went with him, and we had a nice time. And then he dropped me off and to me, this wasn't like a date or anything. It was just, you know, going along with my buddy.
Yeah, news to me, by the way.
Buddy.
Friend zone.
Right. Then we got to my parents' house and we were in the driveway. And I don't really remember the part where he told me he had feelings for me. Like, that kind of is a blur.
Yeah, she blacked out.
My nerves came into play, so I think that's the part that I remember the most was when you were more curious about why I didn't reciprocate the feelings. And
I just think it's so very TJ that it's like, okay, if the answer is no, at least let me grow from this experience.
Yeah, I was just trying to get information.
I
like,
get it.
Where can I improve? Obviously,
feedback, please.
What is it about me that you don't like?
He constantly wants feedback of how he can be better, and it's a really incredible trait, but like he even does that in romance, I guess.
Yes, well, I remember he specifically said, what is my flaw? Like, what's my flaw? And
she didn't have a couple extra hours to go through all of them.
Buddy, you don't have flaws.
I felt so bad, and I didn't want to hurt his feelings, and there was nothing I could pinpoint. Like, it wasn't like, oh, you know, if you had better table manners or something. Like,
it was the way my head looked. That was the was the issue. Yeah.
You asked what's your flaw, and she adjusted the rearview mirror. Take a look.
Was it the kind of thing like you had just never seen TJ like that? Like he was always a friend and you just never thought of him as like a romantic partner or a boyfriend or someone that like, you didn't even know that you were on a date with him.
Right. And I feel like he also always was asking me for girl advice too. So I just never really connected the dots.
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out, well, what is it that she likes? And then I can do that.
He was such a nice guy. And like, what makes one person, you know, attractive and another person not to someone? Like
when they're hot. When they're hot or if they're not.
There's nothing quantifiable. It's just like a feeling you get or whatever it is.
I have a feeling. It's just kind of a nauseating one a little bit.
And I think that if I had the life experience that I have now, I probably would have been able to say, you know, some people are just not meant for each other in that way, and that's okay, and it doesn't make you less than or greater than or whatever it is.
Right.
I don't know if that would have made a difference if she said that to me when she was rejecting me. I think I needed mentorship. I needed someone who would walk the path beforehand, who could sit me down and be like, dude, I know you're all upset and you're a big baby. Wah, got rejected by a girl. But here's the reality of life. And here's what you've got to work on. And then he'd point his big mentor finger at me and say, you got to work on you first. Because had I worked on me before professing my love to this girl, it would have been a whole different ballgame.
Yeah.
She would have received it differently, I think. I mean, I may not have worked out, but at least I would have been in a better place to take the rejection.
Or maybe you working on yourself, you would have realized that you no longer had those feelings for her.
Exactly, J-Bo.
And I think it's taken me into my 30s to really kind of figure that one out.
Yeah, well, I appreciated her sharing that. And she's a great sport. To be willing to get interviewed by me and my wife, Jess.
Yeah, your wife, Jess. I'm willing to do that. That's something.
Oh, yeah, Jess had a great time hearing that story.
I'm sure she did.
From her. I can tell you, looking back on this whole experience, I am very grateful that life worked out the way it did. We were not meant to be together. We just weren't. I mean, I can't see how that would have been possible because my wife, Jess, feels like such a match for me. And I do believe it took divine intervention. I mean, I literally prayed and asked God to just find me a wife because nothing else worked. And that worked. And it was amazing that my wife, Jess, like we're so alike in so many ways, but we're different in important ways. And we work very well together. And I'm glad things worked out the way they did. But in that season of being rejected, it is so hard. I remember it was like a bazooka to my heart. I was sort of betting everything on that moment. But whatever you're going through, whatever kind of rejection you're dealing with, here's someone on the other side of that saying, thank goodness I was rejected.
Rejection is redirection.